Hi, and welcome to tonight's Action Coaching Club live coaching call for June the 16th. It's Lou Dallow here with you. Nice to be here and glad to be with you. So tonight's coaching call, or tonight's call, as you can see, is going to be a coaching call. And it is, we don't have any strategy coaching assignments ready to go. This is actually an old set of slides. So we can just ignore that. What we will do, though, is round robin Q&A coaching. So we'll just start with first come, first serve. Until we run out of questions or we run out of time. I am going to do a combination of taking your calls live here and as well as to take some messages that have been accumulating in the mailbag. Now, before we get started, also wanted to mention there's been a couple of questions, and I wanted to clarify that the way that the coaching, and maybe you're new to the Action Coaching Club, so I just want to make sure that you're kind of up to date on how this is all working, so that you don't wonder why I don't answer you by email. So, you know, the Action Coaching Club is designed for you and I to get together on these coaching calls Mondays and Thursdays. So there's no additional element of coaching by email or following up or handling, you know, questions that you have while you're in real time doing your, you know, your business and things like that. So this is really just the group coaching environment, and we'll be doing a combination of some weeks we'll do coaching calls, some weeks we'll do training calls, some weeks we will do you know, we're going to start doing like 30-day events that we're going to focus on. And so while it is intended to help you as much as possible focus on your business more or less as you're doing it, you know, there is a limitation to just how quickly you're going to get a response. So there are a couple of ways that you can get a response, and if you need it quickly, this is the best we can do through Action Coaching Club. So the first is that you actually attend one of these calls live. So if we're doing a Thursday night call, because usually our coaching calls are Thursday, if we're doing a Thursday night call and you know, on the call live, then chances are pretty good I'm going to get a chance to talk with you and to answer your question. And so if you need a little bit of back and forth, if it's not just a simple question, but you want, you know, some brainstorming, some feedback, some interaction, then really the best thing to do is to come to these calls so we can talk live. And listen, if you're in another part of the world and you know, it's not convenient by time zone, guess what? That's just the way it's going to have to be. You know, as entrepreneurs, sometimes we just have to deal with what we have. And just like Sabrina's here at 1 a.m. her time, if it's important enough to you to get your questions answered, then, you know, the best way, honestly, is to be here so we can engage and interact. Because there are times when, as you're asking questions, you know, I can dig a little deeper with you, or we can do a quick look online or something like that. So if you need that kind of engagement, please come to the calls live. The second best thing to do is, if you can't make the calls live, then give me a link to the website or whatever that you have a question about, and give me one or two specific questions. So unless we're doing a strategy review call, for you to write down your entire business plan in an email and ask me to comment on every aspect of it, really not the intention behind ACC, right? So we can do more of that on a strategy coaching when we assign times for that, where, you know, I assign 15, 20 minutes at a time to work with individual members. But that's a very specific process where, you know, I'll let you know when the calls are coming up, and then you have to actually request a session, because we're going to give you an appointment, and then we'll actually book you in at a time for 15 or 20 minutes. Okay, so that's the second way. Actually, so the first way is the live coaching. The second way is the strategy coaching, so you can get 15 or 20 minutes focus time on a particular element of your business. And then, of course, you can always send in questions to the mailbag. And the mailbag, you know, the formal address is lou.acc@powerupcoaching.com, and that's an email that I'll check most of the time in real time. You know, I'll just come to this call, open up the email, and start reading it. You know, and so two things. Number one is, don't put anything in there that you don't want everybody to see, because sometimes I'll end up putting it up online, and guess what? You know, I haven't had a chance to read it, and we don't know what's going to show up. Actually, I've started to read these behind the scenes first now. You might have noticed. So, but preferably, you know, just put something related to the question that you don't mind everyone else seeing. If you have something that's administrative or operational, or you can't get a password, or you have a request or feedback or something, then really the administration of the program is done by Evan's support team. And so you should email those guys. The only thing you want to send to lou.acc@powerupcoaching.com is questions, powerupcoaching.com, questions that you want me to answer on these calls if you can't make the call live. Okay. Now, please do not expect that I will reply to those emails, because I don't. It's just a way for you to give me questions for me to answer during these calls when you can't attend live. And then the other thing is that if you need more ongoing coaching and support, and you want to be able to access me in real time, twice a week or whatever, then what some folks have done is they've chosen to join me in my own coaching group. I have a small group coaching program where we have 12 to 20 people. We meet twice a week, and you get a chance to, have 5, 10, 15 minutes with me twice a week. Now that is very convenient if you're working on things and you need brainstorming and feedback and so on in a real-time basis, because then generally speaking, see, while on ACC it could be a week or 2, sometimes 3 before we get around to doing a coaching call and answering the questions, in the group coaching format, you'll have access to me twice a week for 90 minutes at a time within the context of the group, right? So there might be 12 or 15 other people on at the call at the time, but I usually find that I can spend a good deal of time with them. So I keep my coaching groups very small for that purpose. And so if that's of interest to you, then probably the best thing to do is send a message through clientcare@powerupcoaching.com, and let them know if you're interested. I'll have a chat with you. I only do this by referral, and I only do it after I interview someone, because we have a very tightly knit community. I want to make sure it's a good fit for you. I want to make sure it's a good fit for me and for the other members. So I will spend 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, getting a sense of what you want to accomplish, and explaining to you how the group works. At the end of that time, if we both feel it's a thumbs up and it's a good option for you, then we can certainly proceed with that. So again, if you're interested in that possibility, you can just email clientcare@powerupcoaching.com and just ask for I don't know what I call it. I don't even have a formal name for it. Just say you want to talk to me about the coaching programs, and Cynthia will set up a time for us to talk. Okay, so I hope that this is kind of what has the kind of expectations that I hope that these are the expectations that have been set for you, and I know that we are trying to do a lot of things. We're giving you training, we're giving you Q&A calls, we're giving you more coaching calls, and in fact, what we've found from some of the feedback that we've gotten, and we're going to start to implement this, is that we're going to probably do every other week. Where we used to do training, we're actually going to replace it with hot seat calls, because it turns out the thing that we're getting the most positive response on is those opportunities that we have to spend 10 or 15 minutes doing a good, detailed, deep dive kind of conversation. And so Eben has a lot of great training already. So what we'll do is we'll do more of the strategy coaching calls, so that we can spend a little bit more time together, and probably every other week we'll do that, and then we'll continue with the coaching calls so we can do quick Q&As along the way as well, and training probably twice a month now, every other week, supplemented by some of the videos and things that Eben's done. So I think we're going to have a nice way to support you in a lot of different ways, and if you want ongoing specific coaching to support you in real time, give me a call, and let's see if there's a way that I can help you to do that. Okay, if you have any questions about that, feel free to ask, and if we can't get to answering this on the call, remember the support team is always available, right? So make good use of them. They want to make sure that you're extremely happy and that you have all your questions answered. Okay, so with that, let me I have a few questions here, so let me just get started right away. Felipe Morales, what is the exact pathway of products that we do? There is blueprint, product plan, coaching call, tech tool, traffic tool, seminar secrets, etc., etc. I just started and reviewed the entire boot camp. I want to know how I should go through the rest of the information. Okay, good. So I can, the thing that I would suggest, Felipe, is, let me just pause this video for 1 second because I need to log in here. 1 sec. Okay, we're back. So what I would recommend, Philippe, the best thing to do is to check the coaching club checklist. Okay, so we designed this very specifically to be sort of your project plan. And what we like to do, think of this like, for example, when you have a problem, let's say for example you got a flat tire in the car, and so you have a flat tire, and excuse me, and you're going to go to the library. You go to the library, you go to the index cards, and you say, and you look up all the places where they have books where they teach you how to fix a flat tire. So you pull out one of the index cards, you go to that section of the library, you pull the book out, and then you learn how to fix your flat tire, and you fix it, and then you put the book back. Okay. The checklist, the action coaching checklist is designed to be your index. So you wouldn't go to the library and read every book in the library so that when you get the flat tire, you know how to fix it, right? You would wait until you have the flat tire, then figure out where the books are, and then go find how to do it. So that's the way I'd like you to think about this checklist. Because if you look at it, what we're wanting to do with this is to step you through each of the main areas in your business that you need to take care of. And then you might be at different places of development. You know, some people are getting started, some people are a little further along. So what you'll want to do is you want to take a look at this and say, well, where am I? Have I determined that the market's viable? Have I figured out how to reach the people? Have I started to build my list? Oh, okay. Well, then I need to find out how to get people on my list buying products and services. Okay, so you're at gate 4, and so you're going to work through the steps, because each of the steps are going to follow the gates. Step 1, I've researched the niche, I've tested the niche, I've built my list, I've cultivated relationships. Okay, now I want to promote my offers. So then I go through and figure out how to promote my offers, and then what you're going to do is when you're wondering how to do that, you're going to look at the product sales mini site checklist to see how to get your mini site up. You're going to learn how to write bullets, and then you're going to go to the copywriting checklist, right? And then as you're doing this, make an offer during live consultations. That's when you go, well, I wonder how I make an offer during live consultations. Well, let me go to the training and look up the video that talks about researching the market and designing my live consultation. Right? So you want to use the checklist to drive how you consume the content. Because if you do it this way, then when you learn how to, for example, let's say you decided you wanted to do these live consultations, and then you go watch the video, you immediately have an opportunity to apply it. And it's through the application and through the implementation that you'll actually learn it and master it. Okay, so that's the way that I would recommend you do it, Philippe, and you'll find that that's a lot less overwhelming. So treat all those training programs as your library, right? As your research library, as your application library, your implementation library, but you only need to research the parts that are relevant to what you're implementing. Now, of course, for interest's sake, you can go and read any book in the library, but to be effective and to be productive and to implement the fastest, let the checklist be the guide to your activity. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. Ennio, I'm logged in, but I can't hear you. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me just type real quick. Ennio, you must dial into the phone conference number to hear audio. We have a lot of new folks on today. Okay. Let's see. Aleem says, how do I use Facebook to see if there's demand or interest on my service or product? Is there a way I can look for Facebook groups that are related to my service so I can find the hot buttons of my clients? Also, are there other ways to use social media sites to determine the hot buttons? Thanks, buddy. I'm really glad that we're buddies, Aleem. Yeah, this is, I'm not sure that, okay, I may have a slightly different approach to this than other people are going to tell you. So, take it with a grain of salt. This is certainly not the only way to do it, but it's one way to do it. So if you if you go through, and I know that, Aleem, I know that you've gone through all that stuff that says go find the groups and find the forums and find the blogs and all that stuff, right? So I already know you know that part of it. Now, so my preferred way to test my assumptions about hot buttons is to actually buy some advertising. Now, I know every time I say that, people go, oh, spending money, advertising, how do I know it works? But, realistically, it's probably the fastest way to get in front of your market, make them an offer, and see how they respond. And then when they respond, you're on the right track. Now, yes, you could wait until you build a list, but how are you going to build a list? on Facebook? How are you going to build? Well, best way is to advertise for it, right? If you look at all these people who have hundreds, tens, and thousands of hundreds of thousands of people on the web page, following them on the fan page, you'll probably notice that they advertised to get those people, right? So if you're doing things like writing articles or doing SEO or posting in forums or going to groups and all that kind of stuff, it's possible that you're going to find out what the hot buttons are, but it's indirect research, right? Like if I go through a Facebook group or if I go through a forum or whatever, I have to sort of extrapolate from the conversation what is important to them. And sometimes, there are conversations that, they're very active, they're very feisty, there's a lot of activity, and that's usually a good indication that, there's something there. But I still have to sort of figure out from the conversation, well, what's the real problem here? And is there a way that I can solve it, right? So it's work. It's work. For me, it's a lot of work. And, it's not something, and you can't always easily outsource it because not everybody can sort of make the same judgment as you could about what does it mean? What does that discussion mean? What does it reveal about their true fears, frustrations, needs, and desires? So I still come back, and yes, the other option is you can interview and consult with people, but again, you've got to get people to those consultations, which means that they've got to get on your list or they've got to be on your fan page and they've got to know you well enough to want to spend time with you. And then it also means you have to talk to them one at a time, or even if you've got them on a teleseminar or webinar, 1 to 10, 1 to 20, 1 to 50. So, and how many webinars can you do? Well, maybe one a week. So do you want to wait 3 months to figure out what the hot buttons are? I mean, those are all things that you want to do as well. However, in my experience, the fastest way to find out is to run advertising. And to run advertising in an A/B split test and to run a lot of ads on a lot of sites if possible, right? To the extent that your budget allows. But let's say the only thing you can do is to, you've got a budget of $200 or $300 a month and you just want to look on Facebook. You want to get your clients from Facebook. So the thing that I would do is after I've done all the research that I can, I would come up with what I think are the most important hot buttons for my market, turn them into a headline, right, which addresses, like let's say for example, I found the biggest problem with people who wanted to work out is that they didn't have time. Okay, so I would run an ad and I would put a picture of someone running around frantic like he has no time whatsoever, there's 1,000 things going on, and I would say, no time to work out, click here to like this fan page, find out how. So what am I doing? Well, first of all, you notice I said click here to find it, to like this fan page. So first of all, I want to get them as followers because, or as fans, because I know if they click there and they like it, guess what? Even even if they don't particularly like that ad, they like the topic. And then I would run 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ads to the extent that my budget allows and see which headlines or which hot buttons people are responding to the most. So, if I have $500, I'll spend $500. If I have $1,000, I'll spend $1,000. It really kind of depends on how many things I want to test and how fast I want answers. So that's sort of my preferred way to do it. I used to do it with Google, but Google's gone crazy these days, and it's crazy expensive, so I don't use Google. Oh, plus they shut down my account a few weeks ago, so so I can't use Google even if I wanted to. But now you can use Facebook. Now you can use any kind of media placement. Now you can use CPA. You can buy traffic. There's all sorts of things you can do. But primarily what the deal is get in front of qualified eyeballs, and then, if at all possible, make them an offer for something based on each of the hot buttons. So in a sense, you want to run, let's say you come up with 10 potential things that they might be really concerned about that you think are big problems for them or that you think are major desires for them, and then just run ads to find out which ones people are responding to. So that's kind of the way I approach it. I'm not sure if it fits for you, but okay, I noticed you have a few more questions here, so let me see what else is on your mind. Actually, I don't know how to find groups in Facebook. Well, Facebook has a great help section, so all you need to do is go into Facebook and in the help section and say help with groups. I think I don't know that I know how to find Facebook groups, so I would probably, let's see what happens here. Go to Facebook. Let me log in and say, where's the help? Okay, down here it says help. There you go. Groups. Where are my groups? And I would probably just, go through there and figure it out. How are pages different than groups? What are the privacy options? How do I leave a group? What's a group admin? And there's a whole bunch more questions here. Let's see. There you go. How do I leave? How do I delete a group? How do I send message? Nothing here that says how to find one. But I think the way, let's see, how would you find one? That's Facebook. So I should be able to see groups here. Here's how I create a group. I think maybe you need to be, let me see if I have a group. I'm trying to remember which group I have here. So I'm going to see all. Yeah, somebody type it in for me because I forget. There it is. There it is. Groups. Okay. So there's my groups tab. And these are the groups that I have, and these are the groups that I'm a member of. And I'm assuming that you need to be invited to get on a group, but how do you find a group? So if I say action, okay, so it says group. It tells you when you do a search. So let's say, for example, I say internet marketing, and here you go, group. See more results. Okay, these are pages, groups, people, all down there. And what if I said internet marketing group? Okay, so I get page, and here's the groups. Group, and more results. Oops, that's not where I want to go. Yeah, there's probably a way to just list groups. Does anybody who's like an active Facebook user on the call here? Let me see. Do a topic search at the top and select. Yeah, but if I do a topic search, it's not necessarily going to say just groups, right? So learning. Okay, education. Oh, there's got to be a way to do this. Well, here you go. These are all groups by the look of it. Join group. Yeah, so I just I guess all I did was I went into my groups section, and then I think what must happen is when I'm doing this, right? I'm in groups, and then so this is not the main search. This is the sub search for groups. So if I type in internet marketing, theoretically, there are all, yeah, there they go. There are all my groups. And then I can just join whichever ones I feel are appropriate. Okay, so that's how you find groups. There you go. Sort of discovered it in real time. Yeah, I told you I don't use Facebook much. All right. I'm assuming that these are only going to be the groups that are public, right? Because some folks, like for example, I have a number of groups that are private to my family and to my clients, coaching clients and so on. And so I send them links and or I add them, but my groups won't show up in this listing, right? So for example, I have a group for, I set it aside, we're not using it yet, but there's a group for action coaching. Well, there it is, it's just me, one member. So it shows up, but notice you can't join. So even though the group shows up, I'm not making it available. So unless I specifically block the group from being in the list, it's going to show up, I guess. So there you go. That's how you find your groups. Now, the thing about this, I think, is that you're going to have to search for a group name, right? This is not necessarily by interest or topic. So if, for example, someone puts up a group that says, I am group, unless you know that IM stands for internet marketing and you search for IM, you probably won't discover that group. I think that this is going to search the name. Okay, so let's see if I just said action coaching. Right, see, yeah, see all of these, action coaching, it's all in the name. So you're still going to probably want to do searching here, because this will cover your likes and interests as well. Okay, and then so if you were to do something here and say action coaching, oops, or let's say that you said lose weight. Okay, notice, cleanse your body, clear your mind. There's nothing there that says lose weight, but it will have been profiled in the likes and interest as being related to the category of lose weight. So if you, and then of course if you scroll down, some of these are going to be pages, some of them are going to be groups, some of them are websites, local businesses, and so on. So you're going to have to kind of scroll through the results to find out which ones are the groups. Okay, so when you search on groups, it looks like it's searching through the group name. When you do the main level search, it's searching through the likes and interests as well. And this is probably the place where you're going to find more results. Okay. All right. So hopefully that the group doesn't show up in my left column. Do I need to play around with settings? Yeah, probably. The other thing you can do, Aleem, is create a group. And once you create a group, you should have a group tab that shows up for you. I think that's how I did it. I just created a group, and then I had this in my left column. Right. So yeah, that should do it. And if it still doesn't show up, which I would be surprised if it doesn't, then check your settings. Okay. Good. And once again, you know, you can go through all those groups, and I think it's a good thing to do, but, you know, focus on the ones that have the most members, then join the group and stay with the ones that are the most active. The rest of them, don't work so hard, okay? Just get the big numbers, the most popular and the most numbers. Okay, Ennio. You can Ennio. Let me show you something. carefreeconferencecalls.com/Skype. Okay, sorry, I'm just supporting someone who's having trouble getting on here because he's got a really important question. I want to make sure he gets through. Okay. So Aleem, Linnea says that she can help you find groups on Facebook. You have her email. So great. Linnea is much better at this Facebook stuff than me, so you might want to reach out to her. Oh, you were giving me instructions. Okay, let's see. Do topic search at the top, then select whether you want people, page, groups, etc. And when you get the search results, select a group. Okay, yeah, I think that's kind of what we did. So thank you, Linnea. I wish I'd have seen that sooner. Okay, let's see what else we got. Julie. I've been having a lot of problems with my autoresponder in one shopping cart. Thinking of switching to MailChimp or Aweber. Just wondering if you have experience with any of these and any pros, cons to either. Well, I don't know what problems you're experiencing, so it's hard to say. You know, I mean, some problems are not really problems. They're just features that don't work the way you want. And so it's a problem for you, but it's not necessarily like a problem, right? Oh, poor customer service? Oh, okay, that is a problem. So my experience with Aweber is that it's astoundingly good customer service. And from what I don't use MailChimp, but I have some clients who do, and they say the same thing. You know, the MailChimp is excellent in terms of features, functions, price, the team, the staff, support. They love it. So I think you'll be okay with either one as an alternative if you're not happy with one shopping cart. Okay. You'll check them out. Great. Thank you, Julie. Carla says, Lou, I'm late, but I made it. Yay, Carla, welcome. Sabrina, sent you an email earlier. Okay, let me look up your email, Sabrina. By the way, Sabrina, if you're on the call, go ahead and press *2. And if I can get your hand up, I can even open your line if you want to chat live. Okay, so Sabrina says, very excited to be part of the coaching club. Yay. Thank you, Sabrina. Nice to have you here. I've started to learn about internet marketing since November '09, and it took me a while to identify the right training. Well, now you've got it, girl. Good choice. I'm now creating my first product, and my goal is to be able to live from my internet marketing activities and not need to go to a job. Yay. I love that. So my product and pitch, home study course for business owners to help them to be able to make profitable business decisions. Sabrina, is it okay with you if I display this up on the, I'm going to put your email out on the, for everybody to read along with me? Thank you. Okay. That'll make it easier for everybody. So instead of just listening to me, you can read along. And Sabrina, do you think you have your hand up? Because I don't see it. Maybe you can, yes, you do. Okay, let me check one more time. Oh, yes, indeed, there you are. Hi, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Great to have you here. Okay, so let's read through this a little bit. Your avatar is a business owner, 30 to 35-year-old male, no background in finance, and are frustrated and struggling to understand their finances. They're scared to talk about to their accountant and banker, investor, and they're anxious to get their business might go under, and they'll miss the warning signals as they don't grasp what is going on in their business from a financial perspective. So before I read any further, so Sabrina, do you have training in finance and background in finance?
Yes, actually, this is my job. I'm a credit analyst.
Okay.
I look at financial statements all day long.
Okay. And do you know that there are people who are having these problems, or is this you thinking that they have the problems and then you might want to apply your skills to that problem?
The reason that I came up with that idea was that I did a presentation in finance in a business seminar back in December, and the room was full of business owners, like small size. And when I did talk about what I was doing, I saw that there was a big interest, and that they were really keen to, to listen to what I was saying, and that they were, and most of them came to me and said that they're really happy because it's the first time that they really understand what that means, and usually their accountant is not really telling them much, and it's too technical for them. Okay. So this is when I decided that it could become something that I can market.
Okay, that's excellent. And what was the premise for attracting them into that event? Was it what was the title of the event, or what was the headline for your marketing?
In fact, it was not me who organized the seminar.
Okay.
It was from a company that it was marketed under Business Success Systems. So they were telling all business owners what they need to do in their business, from logistics systems, creating the niche, and that type of things. And then I did the part in finance.
Okay,
because
got it.
The speaker knew me, and he said I can have a slot.
Okay, excellent. So here's just one thing I want you to have in the back of your mind. In my experience, because this is a market that I serve a lot as well, but in my experience, even though this really is a problem for these business owners, in other words, they could do so much better if they just understood some of the finances. It's not one of the things that they spend a lot of time seeking out. It's one of those things, especially if they're entrepreneurs, right? Entrepreneurs usually are salespeople and so on. And so the numbers they don't really care that much about until it's too late, right? And then they go, oh my God, I didn't realize it.
That's what I was thinking when, I was thinking of the questions that you do usually ask. What is their urgent need? And I was thinking it's not that urgent for them, but then I didn't know how to link it.
Exactly. So it's not, I think you're right. It's not that urgent for them, but there's two situations. One is when it is urgent for them. In other words, something happened and all of a sudden they realize they're in deep trouble, and and they need to handle the financial situation real quick. Right, so either they're just suddenly in debt, or they're about to default, or they realize their sales have stopped and their expenses haven't, and they need. But I don't think they see that necessarily as just a financial issue. They see that kind of as a management issue. But when they get to that point, if there's a way that you can get in front of them then, right, through your marketing and through your events and so on, if you can find keywords, or if you can do advertising for people who are in business specifically around that situation and validate that they're there, I think they're going to be more likely to want whatever you have at any price once they're in that urgent situation. Okay, so keep that in mind and see if you can think of ways to reach those people, because I think you'll find they're going to be easier to sell to. In fact, you won't even have to sell them. They're going to run after you, hoping to catch you. You can't run fast enough. When those people are in that situation, you can't run fast enough to run away. They'll get you no matter what. So those I think are going to be a lot more interesting customer to focus on as an avatar. Now that said, there's probably the majority of them haven't reached that point yet. And so maybe the way to approach them is to focus on the idea of, how to stay in business. And I think it has to always be in the basis of simple things you can do to make sure your company stays afloat. Simple things you can do to, if you just get a hold of your just 5 financial secrets you need to know to preserve all your profits. Something like that. So you can talk to them from a point of view of maintaining sales or staying in business or not failing, because that's probably something they'd want to know about. Or, the 10 simple things you need to know to get your fail-proof, audit-proof, bankruptcy-proof financial system in place today. And good news is your accountant can do it all for you, okay? Because this avatar does not want to do numbers normally, in my experience. Is that your experience as well?
Yes, that's true. Yeah, they want to run away from it. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Right. So you have to, but that's the language that's in their head. So I think you're going to be dealing with 2 main things. One is that they're not really looking for it. And so you have to put it from the perspective of, hey, I know what you're looking for is to grow your business fast and make a lot of sales. But how about all of those sales you're making? You could be making a lot of sales and running your business at a loss if you just put 3 main things into your business, and you don't have to do it. Your accountant can do it for you, but you got to tell them to do it. All of a sudden, you're going to find that you're not, instead of bleeding money, you're going to be profitable, right? So if you can sort of talk to them about you keep doing your sales, you keep generating the product, you keep being the entrepreneur, but we're gonna help you set it up so that what you bring in you can preserve as profit, and stay in business, and enjoy the lifestyle and all those things, because that's what they're thinking about: lifestyle, thriving business, prestige, authority, creativity, entrepreneurial. That's the kind of thing that you want to continue to tell them, that if they get their financial house in order, they can enjoy that forever and much more abundantly. If they don't, they could be one of the statistics in 2 years. Okay, and they're very simple systems that you can help them put in place. They don't even have to do it themselves. Make sense?
Good. Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
Cool. Okay, so I am between step 2 and 3 of the checklist. My product is being finalized. I had the idea to create that product after I made a presentation. Okay, I'm struggling to understand how to get my first 100 subscribers. I need to do paid advertising. Should I go back to Evan's training? I spent 6 months creating my product a lot. Yeah, so it's really great, and congratulations on creating your product. And 6 months is a long time. So what I'm going to encourage you going forward, what I'd like you to do is create a product in a week. That's very that's very simple, very short, and it's not complex. But it's a way to test the market. Okay, and one of the ways you can do that is you can create, for example, let's say you sit down with a piece of paper, a pad of paper, and you say, what's one of the biggest hot buttons for my avatar? What do they want, or what do they fear more than anything? And then you write that down, and then you say, okay, I'm going to create a report that's going to tell them how to eliminate that fear, or how to attract the thing that they want. And so you're going to follow the why, what, how, what if framework that Eben talks about. You're going to say why it's important for them to learn this stuff, what the situation is, how they got themselves into it, what other people do, what they can do about it. How is going to be, here are the steps you need to take right now. And what if is, go take those steps and then call me or buy my stuff. And you're going to write that out, and you're going to find like a 5-step process that you would recommend to your clients that actually solve that problem. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hold a teleconference or invite some friends, and you're going to talk for 45 minutes. And that's going to be your presentation. You're going to take that presentation and you're going to send it to a transcriptionist. They'll transcribe it and send it back to you. You do a couple of quick edits to assign chapter headings and titles and layout and stuff. Put a cover on top of it, and that's it. You're ready to go. And then what you want to do is you want to build your list first, because you see now you have that content in there. And it's even better if you can make it evergreen content. So maybe you don't focus on that one specific problem. Maybe you say the top 10 things that entrepreneurs struggle with and what you need to do. The top 10 things you don't know about finance that could destroy your small business before you even get started. Okay, and then you use that as the giveaway, and now you can change the title, you can change the headline, and you're testing. And what you want to do is you want to build your list first before you build your product. Now, what you're doing in there is you're finding out, are people interested in this subject? Are they interested in finance? Are they interested in sales? Are they interested in expenses? Are they interested in avoiding failure and bankruptcy? Are they interested in multiplying their profits? That's what you want to do. And you build your list using that simple device. And then when you build your list, you can get them together on teleseminars, or you can interview them and so on. When you do that, when you've talked, when you have a list of 1,000 or 2,000 people, and you have those conversations and you have those teleseminars, you will know without a doubt what product you need to create, and then you create the product. And that product, you can spend more time making it great. But the first product, while you're building your list and you're testing it out, should be real quick, real simple, just enough to be able to test it, because you might be wrong. You might put something out there and nobody's interested. So it's better to only spend a week than 6 months figuring that out. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you've got this book. That's great. So now what you want to do is you can do the same thing we talked about, except now, is this a book that you intended as a book to sell, or as a book to attract a list?
The book is to sell, and it's 7 chapters.
Okay.
And I wanted to do with it actually I've done the presentation, and I'm going to do a video, several videos by chapter that goes with the book. And I wanted to give away the first chapter, which means the first chapter as the first part of the book, plus the first videos.
Okay, I love that. That's a great way to get started. And so what you'll do now is, if you want to do paid advertising, Facebook is a real simple way to get started, and we've got some training on that, and you could do it fairly affordably, and start advertising for small business owners with headlines. And the headlines are going to be all about the hot buttons, right? So you could test like 10 different headlines, 5 positive headlines, 5 negative headlines, and see which ads get the most response. And then what they'll do is they'll come to your fan page or to your opt-in page, and you'll show them the video that says, here's what the book is all about. Here's what I can teach you. And by the way, I'd love to give you a free chapter in the first few videos. Go ahead and opt in, and it'll be sent to you right away. And that's how you build your list. And then you'll have an autoresponder sequence that helps them, teaches them along the way, and encourages them to buy the product.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. It's really good. You've done a lot of really great stuff. We're just taking what you have and building a little bit around it. Just an opt-in page and some advertising. And the back end, I think you've got handled very well. It sounds like you're right on track.
Okay, good. Thank you. I think it's a lot of things that I need to connect. It's like I did a lot of work, but now I'm trying to find to link everything. Yeah.
You did really well on creating so what you did is what most of us do when we get started, right? We have the idea, we create the product and build out, the delivery and so on, and then we go and now we have to bring people to buy the stuff, right? So, which is okay. It's not, we'd like to do it the other way. We like to test the market and then build product, but it's okay. You've got the thing now, so let's go ahead and put it out in the market. So now what you're doing, you've got all of the part that happens after people buy kind of figured out, and now we're going to create something as an incentive to sample it, and then we're going to drive traffic to it. Very simple, just step by step. You're just kind of working it from the other direction, but you're still going to be able to work it out.
Okay.
Okay, and if you're good at video, it sounds like you like doing video, then please don't forget, to look at something like TubeMogul or Haywire or something, and make sure that you get your video spread out over YouTube and Viddler and Vimeo and Blip and all those places. All those videos, make sure that they point to your opt-in page, because you can get a lot more exposure that way as well. If you're going to do the video anyway, make sure that you distribute it as widely as possible.
Yes, and I think I need to make the opt-in attractive as well, like not plain.
Absolutely. I think you will. Are you are you planning to do full motion video or slides?
Both, a mixture.
Okay.
Because if I do everything talking, I need to remember everything, so it's going to be challenging. So I'm going to do the slides, and then at the end of each chapter, summarizing live, like talking at the end.
Good. I like it. Okay, so that will go especially well on on those video portals. So please be sure that you distribute them widely, and all of those videos, make sure that they point back to your list building page.
Okay.
Okay. So so we talked about a lot of things. So tell me what you heard, and tell me what you think the next steps are for you.
That was going to be my next question.
Go ahead, give it a
Okay,
shot.
so
Tell me what you think you'd like to do next, based on what we talked about.
Okay. I think my first, what I had in mind before I talked to you, that I wanted to finish the video because I did the presentation, so that it is done. Now it's about attracting the right people and doing samples, not samples, building the list gradually.
Okay.
So that means that I will do some advertisement in Facebook with different headlines. You said 5 positive and 5 negative to see what are the hot buttons. And then to direct them to my website and to see which one to which headline they are more responsive to.
Yep, excellent. And where will you bring those people? So you said you're going to create a video. You're going to create a video to offer the free chapter. So where will that be? Will it be on your blog or on a separate landing page or on your fan page?
On my website.
On your website. Okay, good. Do you have a dedicated URL, like a top-level domain, or will it?
Yeah. It's I wrote it. If you see.
Oh yeah, there it is.
My website. Can you? Made easy.
Made easy.
Easy.
Okay, good. Okay, so I really like this, but what I would recommend to you is, see, you're not doing any pay-per-click, right? You're going to be doing like Facebook and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, this is excellent in a lot of ways, right? So you've got, is this your opt-in offer? Yeah. So you've got your opt-in offer, and you've got your training report, and so on. So what I like to do when I'm driving traffic is to eliminate distractions. When I'm driving traffic to a list building page, so eliminate the distractions of giving them all these other things to do. Now, in social media, people think that you should have, you shouldn't force people to opt in, right? So they like to have, the navigation and all this other stuff, but I'm not really a big fan of that. I like to give them only one thing to focus on, and that is, hey, watch this video because I'm going to make a really special offer to you, and if you like what I have to say, then I want you to do it. And I want them not to be able to be distracted by all the other great stuff that they could look for on this page. So what I'd like for you to think about is see if you can keep it on your blog, but do a template of the page that doesn't have the navigation.
Okay.
Okay, so the only navigation I'd like you to have is so you don't have, you've got to put some. Do you have it? No, I don't see it. You've got to have some terms of service and disclaimers and contact things here, okay? So add that to your webpage.
Okay, yeah.
Privacy policy, terms of service, and things like that. Put them at the footer, and then eliminate all of these extra things that are really cool, but not going to help you to build your opt-in list.
Okay, so I remove them. Okay.
And then, I think the rest of it looks pretty good. And is this offering the free chapter? Oh, check it out!
No,
music and everything. All right.
It's quite long. I need to change it.
Oh, is it long? It's 3 minutes and 34. It's not bad. Not bad. That's good for an opt-in. Okay, too long on this part. Okay, get here faster, okay? So this part here in the front, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah, it's 20
9,
seconds. It's too long.
10. Let's see, how long is this? There,
It's
12,
20
13,
seconds.
14, 15. Oh, I've already left the page 3 times.
Yeah,
20
yeah, yeah,
seconds. Yeah,
yeah.
that should be like 2 to 5 seconds, that part, if that, okay? And
Okay,
get to your presentation faster as soon as possible. And
okay.
and then yeah, nice. It's looking nice. Nice environment. You got the curtain set up. Is that you?
Yeah, it's me. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, you got the curtain set up. You got the table. Pretty good. Excellent. Okay, good. And this is the one where you're going to offer them the free chapter, or the, what is this? Free
Well,
training.
it's initially at the moment I don't have anything. I just created it initially when I was thinking of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's actually my product is called now the 7 Golden Keys to Success in Business Finances, and this is the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give away the free the first chapter.
Okay.
So
Excellent. So you'll
in the
redo.
video I said that I was going to give everything, but
Uh-huh.
now I'm going to give just one chapter.
All right. Great. Excellent. So you'll modify this to reflect the free chapter. Yep. Okay, good. And that's a great place to bring people. Now, you might also want to try, if you're using Facebook, another thing that you could try is, nowadays, if you bring Facebook traffic and bring it to your fan page, you're going to find that it's going to cost you a lot less for the advertising. Facebook is going public, so they want to value their business as highly as possible. The more traffic they have, the higher the value, the more billions in Mark Zuckerberg's pocket. So they charge you less to drive your traffic to your fan pages than to your external pages. So you might also want to try that. Take some of those
Oh
ads.
yes, yeah. And in fact, I didn't because I did a Facebook ad to have some fans
Mm-hmm.
on my fan page,
Mm-hmm.
and it was to direct them to my my fan page, not to my
Perfect.
website.
Perfect. Yeah. Because then you could take this very same content here for the opt-in and just put it on a tab on your fan page, and you'll pay a lot less for your credits. Now, you may get less opt-ins because you're on Facebook. You're not in that controlled environment with no links, but
Yeah.
you're going to pay less for it. So experiment with that as well to see where you get better response.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I think you're on track. I think you've got a pretty good plan. So take a week or so, or a week or two to implement some of this, then come on back and check in, and let's see how you're doing.
Yes, I will do it, and I will talk to you next week.
Wonderful. Sounds great, Sabrina. Thank you very much. Great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. So we did a little bit more detailed conversation, but hopefully that was good for everybody. We learned a lot. I love going over this stuff. You never can hear it enough times. All right. So Alim says, Alim, you were asking also about Facebook advertising. I did a training. I'm going to refer you to the members area because I actually did a training on Facebook advertising that I think will really help you out. So check that out. Okay, Ennio, did you manage to get in? Can you hear me? Go ahead and type something in so that I know you're here. And I think you had a question. I think you sent me some mail. So if you can hear me, just go ahead. Hi, he says. There you are. Okay. Oh, great. I see you actually on. Let me open your line, Ennio. Hi there. Are you there, Ennio?
Yes, yes. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Wonderful. Thank you. Good to be talking with you.
All right.
So I'm just checking out your last email. Cynthia mentioned to me that you had some pretty urgent questions. Now, I answered the first. By the way, turn down your speaker, please, because I can hear myself. And it's a little.
I'm sorry. What should I turn up?
Your speakers. Just lower the volume on your speakers a little bit so that it doesn't come this, so my voice doesn't come back in through your microphone. That's good. I can't hear myself anymore. That's good. Perfect. Perfect. So, I did actually answer your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions in an earlier call. Now, Cynthia tells me you can't find it, but it may be in a recording we did recently. If you can't find it, it's possible that the replay didn't come online yet. So, nothing we can do about that except wait till the team gets the replay up. But I'm going to just ask you if you would just give us a little time to get that online, because I spent about 15-20 minutes on that, and I think you'll find it helpful. So what I'd like to do now is if you can just tell me sort of, where are you right now? What's the most important thing that you need to know to move you forward that's got you the most challenged?
Well, did you get my conversion story?
I got it, yeah.
I have just set up my Facebook page, and as there is not a lot of info about my prospective clients, I thought it would be interesting to make a survey to try to get gather some more info from them. And the problem is I'm not very confident how to proceed with that, and where to start and how to do the survey.
Okay, so I remember now again I answered this in detail, so I'm not gonna talk too much about this now. But what the main thing that I said.
Okay.
No, let me just help you out a little bit here though. So and one thing that I wanted to say to you is this: that in case you can't find that replay soon, I want you to just kind of think about this. So as I remember your question. What I was concerned about is that you were doing a very long and complex survey for people who hadn't yet come onto your list. In other words, that you were using the survey kind of as a list building thing. And so my recommendation was you might want to wait until people are on your list before you give them the survey. And I would encourage you to make the survey a lot simpler. So either one question or possibly questions that they can answer just by checking a box kind of thing. Because, and I also suggested that maybe you could provide them a reward or incentive for participating in the survey. Because honestly, most people, unless they really know you and unless they know the benefit to them of filling out your survey, they're probably not going to want to fill it out, right? Why would they? So what I would recommend is that you come up with an opt-in incentive first, get them on your list, teach them something, build a relationship, give them some value, maybe let them come on a teleseminar or a webinar with you so they get to talk to you personally and so on. And then when you send them the survey, they already know who you are, they already know and trust you, they know that you're an authority, and they know that you want to help them. So when you say, hey, I want to help you, can you answer these questions? Then you'll get a better response, I think, in that case.
To try to get them to fill out the survey, I offered a editable estimate, so they can estimate jobs for their clients. And it's a thing that not so many newbie photographers starting their careers out have it to prepare their and also I was trying to offer three coaching sessions for about 30 minutes each if they like my Twitter, if they follow my Twitter. So I thought that was a starting point.
Okay, so I like the idea that you want to give them this estimate that most people don't have or don't know how to do or whatever. What I would recommend to you is that you turn around the sequence though. So you give them this thing for free, get them on your list, and then say, by the way, now that you're on my list, I really want to know more about you so that I can bring great products and services to you. Would you mind taking a minute to answer a few questions? And if you do, I'll invite you to a free teleseminar where I'll answer these questions for the group. So,
Okay.
so once they're on your list, you have a lot of opportunity to communicate with them, make a lot of different offers, and so on. But if you ask them to do something first before they know you, even though they may want that free thing, there's going to be I think a large percentage of them that are probably going to say, it's not worth it. I mean, on opt-in pages, we even get to the point now where we remove the requirement for people to enter their name, so that all they have to do is enter their email address, that they don't have to do anything else. And even that one field improves conversions in many cases. So can you imagine if they have to fill out an entire survey? So I like your idea. I think you've got a great product that people will want who are in your market, and I would recommend offering that to them for free. And then when they're on your list, say, by the way, would you mind answering a few questions for me?
Okay, I understand that. I hear you. What I'm a little bit worried about is that I'm trying to follow the checklist, and I came up to my conversion story, and I don't know, did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, and so I was afraid it was too long, and I don't know where to start to present it to the clients, or so I would have to wait a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit long, and I think, okay, so, excuse me, so the conversion story, um, there's a lot of information here that is personal and it is about you, but it is not necessarily relevant to your audience. So what you want to do, so you need to make it, I think I would make it a little bit shorter, but I would take out everything except the parts that help people to understand the story of how you're qualified to help them, how you reach the point. Now, this is obviously, the first time you're trying this, so don't expect it's going to be perfect right away. These things take a little bit of time to go through and think about and tighten and so on. So so ultimately you're going to make it a little bit shorter, and for me the ideal place for a conversion story is during the sales process, when you're trying to establish a credibility for people who don't know you yet and who are thinking about buying something. You don't have to put it into your content. I mean, I think it's okay if you mention some parts of your story in the content as a way of creating a little bit of authority or helping people understand why you are empathetic to them and so on. But the whole conversion story, it's normally in a sales presentation, and it's at the part where you're explaining to people the journey that you traveled to arrive at this product and to be able to make them this offer. Okay, so that, I think what I would say is, don't worry if you don't have the entire conversion story figured out yet, but keep working at it, and as you get more of an idea of which of this content is going to be helpful for it, if something in this story helps to create authority and social proof and rapport, in other words liking, then you leave it in. If it's just something about you that's interesting, you may not need to put it in. But if it helps to create authority, social proof, or liking, then it's probably worth thinking about leaving it in there.
Okay, all right. My great part of my difficulties is that I'm not sure about my customer avatar yet, and as I said, I did a lot of guesswork, and this is why I came up with the survey. So I'm a little bit lost here because I just can't find the proper info about them. So I think that reflected in my conversion story too.
Okay, so the conversion story, I didn't have a conversion story for 7 years.
Oh, right.
So when it comes to you, it comes to you. Let it come to you in its time, and in the meantime, just talk a little bit about how you're qualified to help people, because sometimes we create a different conversion story for different products, right? Like I just for example, I do a product, a workshop. It's called the Video Sales Letter Workshop. I do it with a friend of mine, and the conversion story for how we created that product is different than my personal conversion story. right?
Mm-hmm.
The story of
Correct.
conversion may actually come to you once you're making the offer. Let's say, for example, you're talking to a lot of people, they give you some ideas, you go away and you try it out, and then you find how it works, and you did all this research, spent all this money, talked to all these people, then you came up with a product, and then you tried it with other people, and now you're offering it. You just created a conversion story in real time for that product, right? And so the idea behind a conversion story is to help people understand why what you're offering them, it has value and they can trust it. So you can actually have a conversion story for every one of your products, as well as for your overall business. So let them come to you in the process of telling the story to people when you're educating them in a way that you might want to influence them to invest in your product. So don't worry right now if it's not 100% clear, or if it's a little bit long or whatever. It's okay. When you get clear about the avatar, you have a little bit more experience with them, and you think of an idea of something you want to offer them, then you can start thinking a little bit about a conversion story for that situation.
All right. As I told you, I'm trying to go by the book and following the checklist steps.
Yep.
So, what do you suggest me to do now? Because I'm not going to use it now, my conversion story, but I think I have to take some action really quickly, because I'm feeling a little bit stuck, and I would like to put it to work,
Yeah. So the thing, I think, for me, the way that I do it is I come up with my best guess based on the research that I've done and how well I know the market and so on. I come up with my best guess of what I think my avatar is and what I think their problems are, and then I create a quick opt-in offer, and then I drive advertising to that list until and unless I can build a list in the market. I don't do anything else. Nothing else is important. Okay, so
so my next bet would be to build my list.
Absolutely. So your conversion story in this case can be a short conversion story, right? And in fact, excuse me, in fact, what you'll notice here, this is really about testing the niche. So your elevator pitch, your conversion story, this could be 1 or 2 sentences, right? It could be, and it could be, let's say, what do you think the biggest problem that your avatar has? What that thing? The thing that you said that you're offering as a reward for the survey. Tell me more about that. What's that intended to help them do?
Well, actually, people who have made some photographic course and want to get into the market, they have no lot of resources to help them to try to make it the right way. So they usually start like low ballers, practicing very low prices, and that is a very big issue, because it won't make them have a healthy business in a medium term, because they can't financially they can't bear it financially. I don't know if you
Yes,
understand.
I got it. Yep, I got you.
Yeah. So they go to the market because primarily they love to photograph, and they really want so bad to work in this area, and they're not worried about working as an employee or trying to get a good deal of money in the beginning, but they really want to thrive and to be successful. So
okay, what's the headline? What's the title of your report?
The title?
Yes.
Well, I would have to get back to it, but in my Facebook fan page, it says, "Do you want to learn to negotiate and to price your photography services?" And then I go to the survey and to get the free gift.
Okay,
So I don't know.
yeah, so the main issue here right now, so what I'm hearing is that one of the big issues that people have is that, especially when they're getting started, they don't know how to negotiate and how to price themselves properly, and so that what they end up doing is underpricing themselves, and then very often they find that they don't make enough money to stay in business, then they have to give it up, right?
Yeah, and that's just because they have no info how to do that properly.
Exactly. But you have the info.
There's
So what I would do is I would take that report, and let's say that that was one of the things that you thought was like really important to people, which it sounds like it is. Then what I would do is I would start I would tell a story about somebody that I know, or maybe if I went through it. So here's your conversion story. If I went through it myself, when I first started up, I gave my services away, and man, I worked hard for like almost no money whatsoever, almost lost my house, almost lost my car, couldn't afford to put food on the table. It was awful. And the only reason was because nobody told me how to negotiate. So I learned how to negotiate, and I came up with a system. Now I use it, and now I'm happy, and so on. So if that's your experience, then that's your conversion story. If not,
yeah, it's pretty much it.
I'm sorry, what?
It's pretty much it. I have been through all that.
Yeah, perfect, right? So that's
my story.
yeah, so that's your conversion story, right? And now what you say is, but I don't want that to happen to you. I want, and sure, I could hold a class and I could teach you how to do this and take forever, but instead what I did was I put this experience down into this report, and it's going to help you get started in your photographic business successfully. It's going to help you to be able to very happily negotiate prices that people will be very very happy to pay you. You're going to feel good about receiving it, and you're going to have money to stay in business and continue to do the work that you love and make a lot of people happy by providing them the photographs and the memories of their lives. Now, don't fail in your photographic businesses. 95% of the people who start make this mistake, and they either suffer, they go into debt, or they give up. Be one of the few that is successful, that has and get started right. Here's my free report. Just give me your email address, and then you got it. So there's your opt-in video, right? That's kind of 2 minutes. 2 minutes,
So
quick
that would
conversion
be a
story.
video.
Pardon me?
That would be a video.
Yeah, I would make it a video. Well, you're a photographer,
All right.
sure. It would be great to make it a video, yeah. And then get some advertising like on Facebook, or run some articles, or whatever advertising or traffic method that works for you. But I like Facebook a lot. You probably hear me mentioning that a lot. So that's the first place that I would start. And then say something like, if you're just getting started in your photographic business, click here to learn the secret to success. That's your ad, right? And so what you want to do is you want to bring them to your fan page, and then on your fan page they'll watch your video that says what we were talking about, and then it'll say, if you want the free report, opt in below.
Okay.
Okay. Now
I have already designed my Facebook fan page, and all the links are working, and there's an sign up form where they just can type their names and email, and it is already integrated with my MailChimp account. So
Good,
I
excellent.
put together all of that information and start to communicate with them right away.
Yeah, excellent. Sounds like you're on the right track. The only thing I would change is that I would get rid of the survey, and I would make my offer. Here's what you need to know to be successful. Read my report so you don't make the same mistake everybody makes and fails in business. This is your roadmap to success as a photographer. That I give that away, and build your list. And if you can start building your list and people respond to that offer, and you could try different headlines in your ad. Some of them will be about negotiating, some of them will be about getting clients, something or whatever, and then that will tell you what they respond to the most. But in the meantime, you're building your list, and you're finding out which of your audience, what they respond to. When you have 500, 1,000, 1,500 people on your list, then it's time to go to the next step and see what it is that they want to create a product for them.
All right. But for this first report, I should do just some guidelines, or to go more in depth?
Well, you start with what you have, and then if you if you think that it needs more, or if you get feedback that it needs more, then beef it up. But it, it doesn't have to be long. It just has to be good.
All right, I hear you.
Okay. I'm kind of excited. It sounds like a really good a good offer that you have. I think I think you'll do well. And if you experience this situation yourself, or if you know a lot of other photographers that you've helped, that's how I think that these photographers are making mistakes.
It's common sense. Everyone goes through that.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Then tell that story. That's your conversion story for this offer. But not long, like just, 30, 45 seconds kind of thing.
All right.
Okay?
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
Beautiful. So, okay, real quick, what do you think your next steps are based on our conversation?
Well, I'm gonna make the video to call people to get my report. I think I will still offer the editable estimate where they can put their logo and the colors of their company and just fill out the document. And also, I think I will offer them 30 minutes coaching session, so I can talk to them in person, and I don't know, maybe this can help me to get some opt-ins. I don't know.
Okay, so I think you're on the right track, and I support almost everything you say. What I'd like to encourage you to think about is, first of all, focus on one opt-in. The more opt-ins that you have, the more distracted you're going to be, the less you're going to be able to test it out, right? So focus on it. Number two, in my experience, until people get to know you, the number of people who actually take your free consultation is very low. So once again, my recommendation to you would be get them on your list by giving them something valuable, and only ask for an email address, or an email address and a name. Don't ask for surveys, don't ask for engagement, don't ask for free consultation, none of that. Get them on your list, because getting on the phone and doing a consultation with you, for some people, they suspect that you're trying to sell them, so they're not going to come. Some people, they're going to say, well, I don't know you, why would I talk to you? And they're not going to come. Yeah, there's so many reasons they're going to say no to that offer. So give them an offer that they have more reasons to say yes, and then when they know, like, and trust you, and then you say, hey, I'm going to give you a free consultation, then it has value to them, and then they're more likely to take it. So that's my experience. I'd encourage you to think about that as you're planning it. But everything else, bringing people to the opt-in offer for that, and the conversion story that you can tell behind that, I think you're on the right track with that. So will you think about that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, will you think about that, what I said about the free consultation?
Yeah. Do you think to build authority, I could talk a little bit about some jobs I have done recently. For instance, 2 weeks ago, I just did a national campaign for the labor department about slave work. It's a campaign to combat slave work in Brazil.
Okay.
And
wait, stop. Okay, Enio, wait. So we're running out of time here, so I have to just ask you, please, if you would wait to ask me that question after you have your list page up and you're starting to build the list, then is a good time to talk about authority and follow up and stuff like that. So would you hold on? And what I'd love for you to do is to implement what we talked about, and then come back and let me know how it's going, and then we can talk about follow-up sequences, authority, and consultations and all that kind of thing, right? So before we get to that point, though, I want to see those web pages up and building a list. Fair enough?
Okay, all right.
Beautiful.
That's great.
Thank you, Enio. Great talking with you. I'm glad we connected tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad too. Thanks a lot.
All right, my pleasure. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay. Let us see. Oh my gosh, look at all these questions. What's happening with all you guys? It sounds like you're all busy doing stuff. I love it. Okay. So, wow, which one of these do I have to choose? We got like 5 minutes. All right. Christian is new. We haven't talked to Christian before, and you look like you've got a client waiting to say yes. So raise your hand, Christian, if you want me to open your line. Press *2. Or if you think that you've already raised your hand, I don't see it. So go ahead and type your area code or tell me if you dialed in on Skype or whatever, and I'll try to find you. Yeah, and by the way, if you've been listening tonight, these are starting to sound a little bit more like strategy coaching calls than quick Q&A, right? So that's why we're going to do more of them. Christian, I don't see how to. I can't find you in here. I don't see you on my control panel. You're on Skype. Oh, okay, that explains it. Okay, so you're going to be one of a few people, I think. Let me see. That's Ennio. That's Sabrina. Let me guess. Christian, is that you? Nope. Christian, is that you? Nope. Christian, did you use the procedure that we outlined in the documents to get on Skype, or did you just dial in through Skype out? Let me try this. Christian, is that you? Okay, so Christian, here I'm gonna give you something to do here. I'm just gonna type it in the instructions. Do this real quick. Follow these instructions, and when you do that, I think I'll be able to see you better. So I'm going to type it in the control panel here. carefreeconferencecalls.com/Skype. Okay, so look in the control panel here at GoToWebinar, and dial in using this method on Skype, and then you'll show up in a way that I can find you, because there's too many people on the call, and I just can't go through everybody fast enough to figure out which one is yours. So while you're doing that, I will answer another question. Looks like I'm going to guess 347 New York. That sounds like Ben. Ben, is that you? All right, who's calling in from New York City, area code 347? Got your hand up, but I don't hear you. Are you muted? All right, we are 0 for 2 tonight in our. I had good luck with Sabrina, and then haven't guessed right since then. Okay, Christian, are you on the line? Okay, so while we're waiting for Christian, let's see. Let's take another question. Suling says, hi Lou, one of the new members in another group that I'm in, and she thinks you absolutely rock, and I 100% agree. Thank you. That's very nice. Wonder what other group that is, but that's a nice thing to say. Thank you, Suling. Okay, I saw somebody dial in, and let me. Christian, is that you? Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going to try something, you guys. If you have a mute button, please put yourself on mute if you're not Christian, and otherwise just be very, very quiet as you can, because I'm going to open the lines. I'm going to ask Christian, what I want you to do is just keep talking, because I can tell which line the voice is coming from as soon as I open the lines. Okay, so everybody mute yourself if you can, and Christian, go ahead and start talking. Christian, are you there?
Hi. Yeah, this is me.
Keep talking. I need to see you on. I need to see the line going here. Keep talking.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, my name is Christian Torres. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. And yeah, so I went to a networking event, and it looks like yeah, I might be having a client for local business marketing, online internet marketing for local businesses here in Las Vegas.
Okay. It's great. Congratulations.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I went to a networking event on Tuesday, and I was just kind of getting, like, just kind of getting out of my comfort zone, talking to business owners, and just really kind of just, yeah, making friends and looking more specifically for strategic appliances. So, so as I was networking, there was a gentleman who he's a chiropractor, and he actually opened up a new office in Summerlin, and Summerlin in Las Vegas. It's a really nice area. And I told him, like, I gave him my elevator pitch. And he's like, I asked him first what he did, like chiropractor, and I was like, okay, cool. And then he asked me really quickly, like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I help local businesses, get the fastest, most cheapest, most cost-effective way to get in front of their ideal client online.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, oh, okay, so you do the video, and like, yeah, I do video, mobile, and social marketing. And he's like, oh, really? I need someone to do that for me, bro. And he gave me his card. Then I guess he had to talk to someone else. So yeah, from there we just kind of left it from there. But so now I actually made a video, like a Camtasia video, kind of me talking about his website. Cause, I looked at his website, I looked at his online presence, I looked at his videos, and I can tell that he's not getting a lot of traction from it. So so right now I'm kind of like, I have a video up on YouTube. It's unlisted, so only the people that get the link can see that video.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about just sending it over to him, and then kind of, from there, like the main call to action in that video is for me to set up an appointment so I can walk in his office and pretty much ask him some questions and pretty much go through the consultative selling process.
Mm-hmm. And so, okay, so far so good. So what? How can I support you? What can I help you with today?
Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of just like, since this is the first time I've done like a video review, more specifically about his online presence. Yeah, like I'm still kind of making sure, like, if kind of getting used to if I should be more formal in the video. Yeah, in that video I was kind of being a little bit. I wasn't so formal. I was kind of more informal, but just trying to be as most honest as possible. As like, okay, this is what you got going on. This is what's going on. This, and then like in my, I guess in the conversion story, I pretty much went into, how I actually did coaching in the dating niche for a little bit, and I got on the cover of Seven Magazine. Seven Magazine is a big magazine here in Las Vegas. So I guess I said that just to create more authority. But and then from there, I brought it back to you. So now I have all these internet marketing, and because all my clients I got them from online marketing. So now I have all these skills, and I stopped doing the coaching. But now I want to help local businesses with the online advertising, because from what I hear, a lot of the yellow pages and those types of methods don't work as well as they used to.
Okay, and where did you get the idea for this sales process? Was it part of some training you got from anyone, or was it something you came up with?
It's actually, like there's someone called, I forget the name of it, but yeah, he pretty much goes into, I guess, when you do these kinds of video reviews, there's kind of three processes. Like the first one is an intro. The second one is kind of like doing the website review and the review of their online presence. And then the third part is like a call to action, like telling people, like, okay, this is what we should do next based on the review.
Yeah.
And,
so here's my sense of it. The reason I ask is because it sounds like a system that someone taught you, right? You met someone, you give them the elevator pitch, you throw them the review video, you follow up. It sounds like a step-by-step system. So, and it sounds pretty good. The only challenge I have with it is this chiropractor didn't ask you for the video, and there's no who knows whether he's even going to bother to look at it. So what I would probably do if it was me is I would probably follow up personally before I sent the video, and either by email or phone, however he asked you to contact him, and say, it was great meeting you, and I really appreciate that you have an interest in this, and I know that it's probably not the thing that might have been top of your mind right now or anything, and no obligation, no pressure, just wanted to be of value if I could, to give you a sense of how I can help you build your business. No, maybe I can, maybe I can't, but I think I can based on what you told me. And what I'd like is the opportunity, with your permission, to just have a quick look at your website, and then I normally do video reviews of websites. They're normally like $200 consultations, but because we met through the networking meeting, and I want to give you an opportunity to see how I can help you, would it be okay if I just gave that to you for free? Would it be okay if I recorded that and give you some ideas about the things you can do to get more traffic, more clients, and make more sales in your chiropractic business? And if that'd be okay, I'll spend the time to do it. If it's of interest to you, then I'll gladly invest my time to do that. And if not, I'm very happy to wait until it's a more appropriate time to do that. So if you qualify them that way, then you know, first of all, that you're spending time with someone who's at least reasonably serious, because what you're saying is, I actually do the service for clients and I charge $200. So if you're serious, I'll be happy to do it for free for you. And if they go, no, it's okay, because they might feel guilty. They might say, I'm not really that interested. Why would I, have this poor guy spend his time if I don't have any business, if he could be selling this to somebody else, right? But if they go, hey, sure, why not? Then you've got, first of all, you've made a personal contact and you've got a good follow-up. You've reconnected so that he remembers who you are. You're getting permission from him, which you don't really need permission to look at his website, but when you're about to give him advice or consultation of any kind, it's always nice to say, is it okay if I give you my opinion, as opposed to here's what I think, right? So you're opening up a little bit more of an energy where, first of all, he's being receptive. Secondly, you're building the relationship. The personal follow-up is preferred for me in this case. And then if he says yes, then go and do the rest of what you're planning to do. So I would probably, the only thing I would change about that is I would add a little bit more person-to-person contact at the front and make it a little bit more permission-based and qualify them a little bit better, so you're not wasting your time doing video reviews for folks who may not ever be interested.
Right, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, yeah. So I really, thanks for the feedback. So, okay, so now I gotta, so this is going to give me a good framework. So for the next time when I talk to people, just make the personal connection first, then get their permission and qualify them, and then go into making a video for them. Yeah, absolutely.
And just as a general tip for you and anyone else who's doing these kinds of things, that I used to manage sales teams for years and years and years, and the single biggest difference from our top performers to our not so top performers was the level of qualification. So the top performers only worked with people who were interested in doing business. The other people had a lot of leads, a lot of presentations, a lot of activity, a lot of follow-up, but because they didn't qualify them properly, they didn't close as fast, and many times they didn't close at all. So I'm going to offer you that little nugget to think about. And also with my coaching clients, a lot of my coaching clients, when coaching first started, people would give coaching sessions away to everybody, because the idea was, well, if I show you what I can do, then for sure you're going to love coaching and you're going to hire me. But what if I'm not looking for a coach? So sure, I'll take the free session. What the heck, if you're going to give it to me, and then I'll get what I can out of it. I'll enjoy it. I say, I like you, thanks a lot, it's great, but I wasn't looking for a coach, so thanks, but no thanks. And so there were a lot of coaches spending 80 hours a week doing free sessions and getting one client out of it because they weren't qualifying. On the other hand, if they were giving those free sessions to people who said, I'm not doing too well in my career, and geez, I wish I could have someone help me. And oh, what? You're a career coach? Geez, I never heard of that before. What does a career coach do? Oh, well, look, why don't we spend some time and I'll just walk you through, give you an experience of what it's like, and if you feel it can help you, then we can talk about moving forward. That level of qualification, just saying that, increases conversions from 1 out of 10 to 8 out of 10. Okay, so be very, use your time is your scarcest resource. Make sure you're spending it with the people who are most interested.
Okay. Right.
Sound good?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Actually, I was going to ask you, like what kind of more qualifying questions I should get into. But that was great.
Go back and listen to the recording that when I was kind of role playing the conversation. There's 2 or 3 qualifying questions in there, and it's basically when you're getting permission, and it's basically you could say, have you been looking for stuff, or are you, even if you say, if we could find a way to do this, would it be of interest to you? If I could find a way to improve your website and get more sales and traffic to you, would that be something you'd like to move forward with? Is that something you'd want to do? And if you want, you can qualify them sooner and say, well, have you looked at this before? Have you worked with anybody? Is it something that's kind of on top of mind for you, or is it just kind of like, well, would be nice but not really urgent? So questions in conversation, like if you have a chance to interview him one-on-one, you know, what you want to find out is A, that he's interested, B, that he has money, or he's willing to find money, and C, if you can prove to him that you can help him, that it's a problem he'd really like to fix right now, or it's a benefit that he'd really like to have. If you can ask questions that give you the confidence that he's a yes on all those three, then you're probably going to be in pretty good shape.
Great.
Okay. And by the way, if you can, try to work it into the conversation. Don't make it sound like a checklist of interviews, like he's applying for a position kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, just work it in casually into the conversation, right?
Yes. Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Christian. Good luck with that. Please come back and let us know how it goes.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. There are more questions in the queue than I can answer, unfortunately. And so I'm going to have to defer and ask you to come back with those questions on the next call. Or if you can't make the next call, please email me at lou.acc@powerupcoaching.com. And once again, just casually to mention, you know, look, we have some room in our coaching groups if you think you can benefit from an ongoing conversation and you know, twice weekly access to me plus free access to all the training that I do. If that's of interest to you and you want a little bit more, you know, one-on-one time with me, just let me know. We do have some spots in the coaching group that I think would be great to fill with some really exciting and dynamic people. And Ben types here, Ben recommends Lou. Thanks, Ben. Hey, you looking for the affiliate commission? No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, yeah, Ben is here and he's in our group, and I think he would attest. In fact, we have probably 5 or 6 people already from the Action Coaching Club that is with us. So it's a nice little kind of mastermind brainstorming group. We're a nice little family, a tight-knit family, and some folks there are doing great work. I wish I had Daphne on the call. Daphne just joined like 3 weeks ago, and right in the middle of a product launch, and we did a couple of tweaks, and she sold out her first product launch ever in like 3 or 4 days. So we had a lot of fun working with her, and I can't wait to celebrate that even more. Anyway, with that in mind, let's just say goodnight, and it's Thursday. So, oh, by the way, I wanted to let you know, if you were on the call last week, Monday, you probably noticed we had a little snafu technically when I was trying to demonstrate, you know, how to get your video analytics tracked and everything. So I'm going to redo that on my own, and I'll edit it into the recording, and we'll put it into the members area as soon as that's ready. I just kind of felt like that was a little bit too wild and woolly to really get much out of it. So you know, bear with me, as I'll probably do that on the weekend, and then we'll put it in the members area. Until then, I'm sorry that it won't be ready, but you'll be able to use it as soon as you get it, and it'll be easier for you to understand, which is my main goal. So if you can understand it better, you'll put it into action better, and that's really what I want for you. Okay, so with that, let me see if I can get to my final slide here and say thank you very much for being here. There's actually, we had more people tonight than usual, which is great. So our little family is growing. And I'm really proud of you for those of you who came on and told me, you know, and asked some questions and showed me what you're doing and shared your stories. I'm really proud of you. You're doing great work, and I love that you're in action, and I love that you're taking the checklist to heart, and that you're coming here, giving everybody else the opportunity to see what you're doing, so we can learn from you, we can be inspired by you, and we can be motivated to do this for ourselves. Thank you for asking the questions and allowing us to learn and be inspired from you. So till we meet the next time, have a great weekend. Because you're here, I get to do this, which is fun and fulfilling for me. I appreciate you for that. Till we talk next, thanks, good night, namaste.